Freelance copywriters, are you struggling to make your outreach strategy work? No matter how many messages you send, how many different angles and strategies you are testing, it just doesn't work. In today's video and quick training, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix your outreach campaign. And this works for all strategies. So no matter you are using LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, emails, whatever platform you are using, this works, right? This is actually our internal SOP for our clients to fix their campaigns when it's not working. So please pay attention, because this document right here, this very short few-page document, has been created from the experience we got from working with over 100 copywriters so far. My name is Dennis. I'm the founder at Six Figure Copywriters. And if you don't know what we do, then just Google Six Figure Copywriters and you can click on the first link that shows up and you can learn more about what we do, right? But just to give you a short breakdown, what we do is we build done for you client acquisition processes for freelance copywriters specifically, okay? So, first thing that I want to clarify is that with outreach it's not a matter of if it works, right? So outreach doesn't work and this doesn't work, and it's a matter of how I can make it work, right? Because if we go back to business fundamentals, not just in copywriting and freelancing, but in general as like a planet and like a nation, right? The only way to get clients is to reach out to people. There is no such thing as waiting and people just like coming to you, right? Like that can happen in some cases where, maybe you have a website that's ranking high, or maybe you are, like providing a lot of stuff in Facebook groups and people come to you from time to time, but that's still work you have to do, right? But fundamentally, what you need to do is you need to reach out to people and you need to get eyeballs and attention, right? And some people get lucky, right? Or they leverage what they already have from other avenues, right? And yeah, if you were a lawyer and you worked for 20 years and you suddenly want to become a copywriter, and now you have a network of 500 lawyers that know you and they can offer the services, you're leveraging what you already have. Or if you're lucky, maybe you decide to be a copywriter one day and your parents own a automotive dealership, and then you write for dealerships and they know other dealerships, and that's being lucky, right? It's not actually putting in any work at all to get the clients. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Good for you if that's you. But when you start from scratch and when you need to build that pool of clients, it is a different story. And even when you rely on word of mouth and referrals, and that is going really well for you, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you are hanging on by a thread with your income, okay? No matter how many relationships you have, no matter how many referrals you're getting, and so on and so forth. I know people that have been doing it for decades and it suddenly stopped. You're not going to have any problem in the next few weeks, in the next few months, right? But there will be a time where these referrals and this word of mouth will simply stop, right? Whether that's in 10 years, 15 years, and I know that's a long time frame and you probably want to be retired by then with your income, or I don't know, maybe scaling to an agency or something. But my point is, if you are relying on word of mouth and referrals without constantly doing any actions to build your connections and expand your network of clients, then you are basically just going forward at God's mercy, which is not really the best strategy, right? That's why outreach exists, right? And that's why you are probably trying to do outreach, and that's why you clicked on this video, because you need to fix your outreach campaign to get more results. So here is what you have to do in case your outreach doesn't work. And again, no matter if you're doing it on IG, LinkedIn, cold emails, Facebook, this works for every single platform, okay? So there are three big things we are going to cover, okay? We have our reply rate, our positive reply rate, and our booking rate, right? As long as we can get these three things to look positive, we will book meetings with potential clients and we will get business constantly, okay? So let's get right into it. Reply rate. What I would consider a good reply rate is 10%, okay? If you're sending 100 touch points like messages and you are getting less than 10 people to get back to you, then there is a problem, okay? But if it's 10%, then that's okay. I wouldn't touch it. And one very important thing that I want to mention here is a very good rule to live by is don't touch something that works, okay? Even if you find this new shiny strategy on YouTube or your mentor tells you to change X, Y, and Z, if somebody is working and it's within KPIs, don't change it, okay? Because you will just get into a mess, believe me. You just want to leave things as they are if they're working well. If your reply rate is like 8 to 9%, I wouldn't necessarily touch it, as this might be like just a transition phase, and like more volume will tell if the reply rate is bad or good. You have to understand that in everything on this planet, there is a bit of luck involved as well. Right? So no matter how many Andrew Tate style gurus are telling you that hard work is, like discipline and work 15 hours a day and do this and do that and you will not fail. That is true, but there's also a bit of luck involved, right? Because what happens is you might start your outreach, and for the first 2 weeks, you might be just in an unlucky position where you hit a bad batch of leads that are not necessarily looking for copywriters, right? So, and then other person reaches out to 10 people, and it just so happens that one of the 10 people they reached out to is exactly somebody in their niche that they're looking for a copywriter at the moment, and they get a client. And then what happens? Everybody's biased, right? That person says outreach is the best way to do it, and you, because you failed, you say that it's outreach isn't working, right? So there is a bit of luck involved, okay? That's what I'm trying to say here, and that's why I don't want you to get your spirits down if you have a bad week, bad 2 weeks, bad month. Stay consistent with it, and eventually you will get lucky as well, okay? What I want you to do if your reply rate is 8 to 9% is I want you to only implement changes and iterate if the reply rate stays like this for more than like a week or 2 or 3. I mean, 8 replies a day, hypothetically speaking, if you're doing 100 messages, is still a very good amount, okay? So don't mess that up trying to change a lot of stuff like the offer and all that other stuff, right? If the reply rate is under 8%, there could be a few issues here. What I would do first is I would try changing the message, like change just the wording, the tone, the sentence, keep the same offer, but make it sound better, right? Because that may be the case for the 2 to 3% discrepancy between your number and the actual KPI. If you do this for like 2 times, and by the way, I would always send at least 300 to 500 messages before taking any conclusion. Just like with paid ads, you need to give your changes some time so you can see some good, like realistic numbers. I wouldn't change, like if you send 50 messages and it doesn't work, no shit, don't change anything, okay? Just leave it like it is for 300 to 500 messages and only then draw the line and take a conclusion, okay? But if you do this like 2 times and the reply rate isn't improving, the next thing to change is the approach. Okay, so you want to go, maybe your approach is more direct, like, like, hey, I can do this, happy to have a chat. Maybe you can go to a more value-based approach, right? Maybe you can try personalizing your messages. Come on, we have ChatGPT. Just go pay $20, give it a list of Instagram profiles, and tell him to create you a table with personalized lines for outreach messages for all of those pages. And it's going to do it, okay? And you don't have to spend time doing it. So just implement some personalization. Maybe try offering a personalized Loom video so that when somebody replies and they're interested, you can record like a 2 to 3 minute video like this for them, right? That's a bit of a more time-consuming strategy, but it works. So that's what I would do in this case. If this doesn't yield improvements after 7 days of testing, or again, 300 to 500 touch points, then you change the offer, as in the messaging and marketing angle, right? So your offer is the most important thing anyways, right? So if you have a good offer, you will be able to get away with a few other things. If your offer sucks, then no matter how many improvements you make, you will not get clients, okay? So I would definitely consider changing the offer at this point and the marketing angle, and try to come up with a better outcome for them, with a better value proposition, with a better way of explaining what you do. Maybe there isn't enough clarity. Right? But if you test it for 2 to 3 weeks and the reply rate is very bad, so it's under 5%, then it means there's simply no desire for your offer and what you're selling, right? And in this case, what I do is I would stop outreach for a week and do some market research and see if there is any other potential solutions that your skills might fix, okay? Maybe you are trying to sell emails to somebody that doesn't really use emails, or they don't really, like, they care more about blogs or they care more about ads, right? And then in that case, the smartest thing for you to do is just to adapt to their needs, okay? Change the offer, restart the cycle that I showed you here with the initial messaging and the iteration of the words and the direct versus the value-based approach, and see if that works. If that doesn't work again, after going through the entire cycle, analyze your industry and make sure they're active on that platform, right? And this is where we want to potentially switch outreach platforms. For example, fitness coaches aren't really active on LinkedIn, but they are on IG and Facebook. So just by changing the platform without anything else, we could see an improvement in the reply rate. You may be wondering, why am I leaving this as the last option instead of the first one? Because I still believe that we should test all of these other things before dumping a platform. The platform is the most important thing, because if you nail a platform that works, you can build a brand on it, you can build some trust, some social proof, and you just don't want to lose that every 2 weeks because you're switching platforms, right? But yeah, if all the above fail and you've tested all the ways in multiple platforms, then it simply means that the niche isn't that good and they don't really feel the need for a copywriter. And in this case, there's nothing we can do other than to switch niches. Maybe try going for a sub niche in the same industry, right? So if fitness coaches are not, like, fitness coaches is a good niche, but I'm just giving you an example, right? If fitness coaches are not buying your services, try going for the supplement space, or try going for nutritionists, right? Or stuff like that. Or if possible, and if you have a few other markets that you have experience in and you'd like to test, you can completely shift markets as well if possible, okay? Now, after we get enough replies, we need to make sure that a good number of them is are positive, okay? Usually I would say that you need to get at least 40% of them to be positive. So if 10 people get back to you, 4 of them have to be interested, okay? So if that's your, if these are your numbers at the moment, very good. That's exactly where we need to be. If it's 35 to 40%, again, I wouldn't touch it, as this might be a transition phase and more volume will tell if the reply rate is bad or good. Try making a softer message for the proposal, perhaps, if this persists for more than a week, okay? So maybe try making a softer offer, or, just changing a bit of the wording and the tone in the message, and it should do it, okay? But 35 is still good. If it is under 35, sorry for the typo here, there could be a few issues here, okay? So first of all, you can try going for a more value-based approach instead of a direct approach, so people will be more incentivized to do you a favor and book a call, right? Just giving you the example of the recent Loom strategy that I talked about. When you send them a Loom, even if it's a 2 to 3 minute time commitment from your end, people are going to feel more like obliged because of the reciprocity principle, and they're going to want to offer you something back. And in this case, it could be just booking the meeting with you, okay? And actually hearing out your offer and what you have to sell them. So you can do that. If you do this and the positive reply rate isn't improving, the next thing to change is the offer, as I said above, as in the messaging, as in the marketing angle, as in the type of copy you promote, as in the value proposition, as in the result you can generate for that person. And if you tested 2 to 3 new offers for a week at a time, or 300 to 500 touch points again, and the positive reply rate is very bad, it's under 35, then it means there's no desire for your offer and what you're selling. In this case, again, as above, I'd stop outreach for a week, do some research, see if there's any other solution that my skills might fix, okay? Guys, you don't understand how powerful it is to just stop what you're doing and go for 1 week on Reddit and read specific threads like of business owners in your industry, right? If you're in insurance, go smash the insurance channels on Reddit and like the marketing discussions in there, and you will find out a lot of stuff that you can potentially implement to fix your offer, okay? So that is, again, something that I would do. If you have a good reply rate, but the positive reply rate is not that good, there's no point, by the way, in changing the platform. As like if you get enough replies, it means the offer attracts eyeballs and people are interested. So there's something internal that needs fixing, okay? So don't go and change like the platform if you're not getting enough positive replies, because that's not the case. And then lastly, we have the booking rate, okay? So with the booking rate, I would say that if you have a 1% booking rate, that's good. So every 100 messages that you send, you book 1 meeting with a client, with a potential client, okay? That is a very good booking rate. It's a solid booking rate, right? Because then you can just scale your operations to 100 messages a day, right? And you can have 20 sales calls per month, Monday to Friday, okay? So if you do outreach Monday to Friday, that's what I was referring to, just to clarify any confusion, right? So you can have 20 sales calls in an entire month. If it's yellow, between 0.59 and 1%, I'd say this is still good. right? If you can book one call every 200 DMs, you are still better than 90% of the other people, okay? So don't trip. It's not a big deal since you would still be booking calls. But it's a very important metric to optimize, because think about this. If you double this metric, you double the number of calls, which means you double the number of clients. You shorten by 2 times the number of months or years it takes you to get to your goal. And the simplest thing that you can do that will potentially work is just doing more follow-ups in general and getting more volume from the outreach that you're already doing. You know, like maybe just sending 1 extra follow-up or 3 or 5 is going to get you more bookings. And one thing that I want to clarify, stop thinking that you are burning leads by following up with them, right? So if you don't, if you send somebody like a message and they show a bit of interest and you follow up with them twice and they don't get back to you, they're not going to book the call, okay? They're not going to get back to you. And you might stop there because you don't want to burn the lead or seem too pushy, right? But if you send 10 follow-ups, 15 follow-ups, right? You might have 2 to 3 people saying, fuck off, but who cares? Because at the end of the day, those people wouldn't book anyways, but maybe you have one person that respects your follow-up game and they actually end up on a call with you because of that. And I've had this happen to me, okay? So please stop being affected emotionally by the fact that people are frustrated by your outreach, because it is part of the game, okay? And there's no such thing as burning leads. Those people were not leads in the first place because they didn't like end up having a conversation with you and so on and so forth. They just showed some form of interest, right? And there's plenty of where that come from, right? There's hundreds of thousands of business owners in your niche that you can reach out to, right? So stop doing that. Stop not following up and not making money because you don't want to piss off people, okay? Usually, if you fix every single metric until this point, so the positive reply rate and the reply rate, it's very rare that all the other metrics are green and the booking rate is red. So if you fix the reply rate, the positive reply rate and everything else, the booking rate will fix itself. However, if it's under 0.6%, the booking rate is the most important metric you have. So please, again, take it seriously when it's not at least yellow. Okay, yellow is what I call it in the middle. So the 0.6 to 1%. There are a few things that you can do to improve this, and hear me out because these are some really good strategies. If you try doing more follow-ups for 2 weeks and it isn't increasing, then you should try to take a look at your booking process, okay? I know you probably use Calendly, Go High Level, or Dubsado, or any booking tool that allows you to also have like a form and stuff like that. There might be an element or a question on that page or within that process that turns people off when they click your booking link, okay? It could be your logo. It could be the fact that you don't have time slots available at certain times. It could be the fact that you have a question that turns them off and maybe they don't want to book the call anymore, okay? So ideally what you want to do is this, hear me out. Create a bit.ly link for your calendar, okay? So just go here and just create one of these links with your calendar, okay? It's free, just create a short link. You might have to sign up for their premium version, but if I'm not wrong, it's like $8 a month, okay? So just sign up for the $8 a month because you can track data, okay? And start sending this link instead, the bit.ly link. Because that way you can track the number of clicks. You can track exactly how many people click on it. And that's when when you can do this. If you send 100 calendars and only 20 people click, it's a follow-up issue. It means those people didn't even get to the calendar in the first place, okay? It's an issue of getting them on the calendar link. If most people click on the link, but you have no bookings, then only then you can actually tell if something is off with your booking process, with the questions you have, or with anything like that. So what I would do in this case is I would try changing the questions, the way you ask the questions, the name of the event, the description of the event, and see if this improves, okay? One by one for 300 to 500 touch points, and this should do it. If you test the bit.ly method and change the booking process and booking rate is still low, try changing your script for the sent calendar message and make it more scarce, okay? So I know that a lot of you guys, when people say, yes, let's have a call, you maybe just send them like, hey, here's my scheduler link, and that's it, right? Or, sure, we can have a chat, please go ahead and book a time here, okay? What you want to do is you want to make it a bit more scarce. Okay? Tell them that they should book the call because you only have one more spot open for the quarter. Offer them a free resource like a PDF or a value video so they get incentivized to take action. And you can also try to send them more personalized follow-ups like voice notes, okay? So what you can do first, you can first of all say something like, hey, here's my scheduler. By the way, I only have one more spot left for this quarter. So let me know once you're booked in so I can stop the client acquisition funnel that I have, right? Or, hey, please let me know once you're booked because I want to send over a PDF going over X, Y, and Z for your industry that I think would help as my gift for booking the call, right? So that way they get incentivized to take action and book the call. And not only that, but you can just personalize your follow-up process with voice notes, okay? Stop being lazy and just do some voice notes, okay? Just pick up your phone, press the microphone icon and then just say, hey, name, I just wanted to send a voice note because it's easier. I noticed that you didn't really have the time to check out the link. Is anything going on? Would you like me to clarify something or what's going on, right? Just do this for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes a day to your warm leads. And it could help you land customers, right? Because maybe some concerns that people might have is that you are a scammer or that, you know, your profile is fake or that you're a kid in his mom's basement, right? So just by sending the voice notes and showing them that, hey, this is a real person here, I'm waiting for you to book the call, it will actually increase your booking rates, okay? So trial the methods I mentioned for at least 4 to 5 working days or 300 to 500 touch points until taking any conclusions, okay? And if all the methods above don't work, then try going for a value approach. Only here you can start switching to the value approach, just like I mentioned above, to incentivize more people to book the call they ask for. Since people are replying and you are sending calendars, the offer and the niche is not an issue, as there is interest, okay? If people are getting back to you and they're also interested, there is interest in your offer. So it means there's just a problem with these things right here, okay? And one of the solutions above should fix it, okay? So that is pretty much it. Do exactly what I said here, and I promise you, your outreach will work, okay? Just do what I said here in terms of optimization. And let me give you a piece of advice to end the training, okay? It is easier to learn a new skill and research a new industry than spending 20 years being frustrated that lawyers don't need your services, okay? I've spoke with over 1,000 copywriters so far, and what I can say is that I've seen so many scenarios where I spoke to a certain individual with over 20 years of experience as a copywriter, and they're still not getting clients because they write for water infrastructure businesses or like in weird industries like that. Right? What I want you to do, if you feel like your industry is not giving you results, just switch the goddamn industry. Just go on YouTube. Like, let's say you want to move from lawyers to business coaches. Go on YouTube, go on Spotify, search business coaches marketing podcast. Listen to as many podcasts as possible for a week or two. Research as many Reddit threads as possible in that specific industry and join as many Facebook groups as possible. And I promise you, you will have a new industry where you know a lot of stuff about, okay? And there's no such thing as the market is slowing down, guys. There is no such thing as the job market is bad at the moment. There is just, I'm not expanding my skills fast enough to have options. If you are relying on the excuse that the job market is bad to not do anything about your situation, then you're not going to get your goal, right? So stop being lazy because the market is bad is not an excuse. If the market was bad, the people that were making money wouldn't be making money. As simple as that, right? So go ahead and expand your skills and learn about more industries and, you know, expand your skills fast enough so you have options. And when your specific sub niche is slowing down because of God knows what reason, maybe you're just getting a bad batch of clients and leads, that's when you can say, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more cards under my sleeve that I can leverage right now to try and go and find clients, okay? And with that being said, I hope this training was helpful for you. And if you'd like to see more raw content like this, where we break down the specifics of what you need to get more clients as a copywriter, then don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And I will see you in the next one.